This video is brought to you by Big Owl Lubricants.
Big Owl Lubricants. Go big Owl. Okay guys, so we got the axle bearings back installed, as you saw, the new green bearings. And I got the brake shoes. I went and found the proper brake shoes. Got those installed today. And of course the slicks are back on now. A couple issues came up on the axle bearings when I was torquing the flange plate down. The book calls for 45 foot-pounds or pounds-feet. And I've got two torque wrenches. I was using my old steady reliable torque wrench, and I'd get to 45, click everything's tight, make another pass around, and I'd have to tighten it a little bit more, and it click again. And after about the three passes around, it kept doing that. I'm like, good Lord, that's crazy. But it was clicking it again, so that's odd. So I went and got my brand new torque wrench, which I don't like because it's 8 foot long. This damn thing is long as I don't know what all. Just don't like that. And set it to 45, and it clicked even quicker. Didn't have to turn. What I'm getting at is it would turn the nut on the flange just a smidge, and before it would click again. Go around, click. So the new torque wrench, it didn't do that. It finally did seem to tighten up pretty good. There was a couple that continued to turn. I think there was 3 out of both. There's 8 total. Finally I just said it's got to be tight. It's clicking, it's got to be tight. So then when I went to the brake shoes, okay, I don't run a self-adjuster. I've never run a self-adjuster on any of my drag cars, and here's why. And you guys may think I'm crazy. Now I know on a self-adjuster, when you back it off the trailer, you hit the brakes, it'll ratchet itself and set the brakes. Both shoes supposed to be set the same. But if you don't keep things lubricated, it won't happen that way. So what I've never run a self-adjuster for that reason. I've seen guys, especially these bracket racers, where they have to hit the brakes on the top end if they got it, trying to drop the bumper or whatever, or scrub off some ET or whatever. And I've seen guys, the cars will turn on them and they turn into the wall or turn into the other car. So this car here is always stopped nice and straight. It don't stop the fastest in the world, but probably because they didn't have the brakes tight. But it stopped nice and smooth, and because the brake shoes will wear evenly that way. If one is not as tight as the other, the one that's tighter will wear down to both are that tight. They'll eventually get to where they need to be. And I've banged through the quarter mile, 107, 108 mile an hour, hit the brakes. I've never had to hit brake. I've never had a competition pass in the quarter mile, but testing tunes. But in the 8th mile, I've had competition passes, and I've had to drop people, usually a faster car. And I had to hit the brakes pretty hard, and then it stopped great. So that's the reason I do that. Like I said, you guys may think that's nuts, but I just, that's what I do that for that reason. So and then on the lug studs, the tracks require long lug studs, and this car's got 3-inch long lug studs. They're like that long. On the Chrysler products, every Chrysler product I've ever dealt with, they don't quite stick out past the lug nut on these weld wheels, these racing wheels. And they want you, the tracks want it to stick out past the lug nut, so the tech guy can just walk by and see that they're all tight. They all look like they're the same distance out from they're all sticking out the same amount. Now, they've never given me any issue. Been running Chrysler products for over 20 years now, and they come out almost always pretty flush. So I paint the ends of them yellow or red so the tech guy can see that they are all the same. But that's as far as they go. Now they make a 5-inch stud, but don't make one in this knurl, because this is a C-body, like a New Yorker, Chrysler New Yorker rear end in this car. It's just a C-body rear end. And if for whatever reason that took a different knurl. Now if I was to go to aftermarket axles, which I may do as the car picks up power, I may have to go to that. But right now I'm still running stock axles. These C-body axles are strong. So at the power level I'm at, and no harder than I'm launching off the line. The cars are way lighter than it was factory. It's over 1,000 pounds lighter than it left the factory. So I think I'm okay with the stock axles for where I'm at right now. But anyway, that's why you see the little yellow and the open lug nuts are a requirement. So that way they're tight. They're not bottoming out inside the lug nut or anything. You don't have to run additional thicker washers or any of that kind of stuff. So couldn't torque it down because I don't have the drive shaft in right now. So the wheel's just going to turn. So we got this much of it back together. I think what we'll do next is we're gonna work on that door frame a little bit, see if we can't get it done today. Hey folks, Bob here. I'm back on Furious. Well, not really. The welder, I dropped the door off and the welder called and said it was ready. And what he was doing, he was taking the Lexan frame, this piece right here, it was welded onto the old door that had a lot of rot. The old door had a lot of rot down in here, and didn't like that. So even though I Swiss cheese this up here, got it lighter. When you got rot in the door, this skin didn't want to, it would flex. So I found this parts door off a parts car. So picked it up today on the way home from work. I haven't had time to do anything much to Furious here lately. Today is Tuesday. It's Tuesday afternoon, and I've been doing customer work on Monday and today, and I've got customer work tomorrow and I think Thursday. So maybe Thursday afternoon we can get back out and work on Furious, and Friday wrap up some things. But I am going to try to get the door at least stuck on today. May go ahead and bolt it down. We'll see. But I dehydrated myself again yesterday. I dehydrated myself last year, I think in August. Cramped up really bad, had a terrible night. Came close to calling the ambulance to come pick me up, but it took a while to get over that. And I dehydrated myself again yesterday. Just felt like crap last night and this morning, but I went to work anyway. But I found some shade, drank a lot of liquids, so I feel pretty good right now. So to keep from overdoing it, I don't want to be out here long today because I got a customer cars tomorrow. But let's get this door off the roof of my work van, and might stick it on. We'll see. I'll be back with you guys in a little bit here. Okay guys, well I set the door on, as you can see, and got a giant gap. It didn't latch in there like I was hoping. I should have slammed it a little better. So the hinges are not lining up, but I think I can finagle them around a little bit. I don't want to get too crazy because it opened and closed real well. So as long as I don't mess with these where it bolts to the car itself, I should be able to get the door adjusted to meet that hinge. But this let me try to put a couple bolts in, then we'll work on it, trying to line the door up a little better. I'm just gonna get some just in to hold it. Okay folks, the door is done. Well, I shouldn't say it's done. It needs some adjusting. Got the hinges good and tight. This door is very light. It opens and closes really well. It opens really well. The closing part, see, it opens. No sag or anything. I got the new hinge. I put the new hinge pins in it. But when you go to close it, this is a different door than the door that came on the car. So I got to do some adjusting. So I got to educate myself. I'm assuming it's these 3 bolts here or screws, and I got to figure out what I got to do. It don't hit the striker quite right. So you got to slam it. Now granted, when I get the interior panels on, that'll help with that some. It won't make that rattling tin can sound. I got the lock. See, it locked the door. It's locked. That's unlocked. See, it wants to pop back out. It's not hitting the striker just right. We'll educate ourselves on how to properly adjust that. But yeah, it's not lined up here real well. You can see that. But I think this thing's got a lot of body putty built up on it. That's for a different story, different day. But yeah, she's in. I've got to put a little rubber. Whoever built the original door just had a piece of rubber right in here, and they just screwed it in, and then this Lexan, as you can see by these little holes here, was screwed into that through that rubber. So the rubber is still on the old door. I was able to keep the old door, so I'll put that in. I'll have to take this Lexan window out to do all that. And we got to put the mirror in. The mirror's laying right over here. You can see the cable. Put the mirror back in, and by golly, I think we may treat it one more time inside for some surface rust. Maybe hit a little rough edges with the file, but she's pretty much done. So we're gonna call that the end of this part of the video. And if you guys know how to adjust these doors on these late 70s Mopar B bodies, there's no adjustment on the striker that I'm aware of. And that probably wore out. I don't think that's supposed to be like that. So that could be part of the problem too. But talk to me if you know something. Otherwise, I'll struggle. We got the axles in, so we're wrapping this car up. Running out of things to do. I should have never said that. I just jinxed myself. I got 9 more months of work on it. I hope not. Just kidding, guys. All right, folks. Hit that thumbs up button or smash it, however you want to do it. Karate chop it. Drop kick it, however you just hit it. Hit that thumbs up button, that like button. And leave me a kind comment. I'm working my tail off on this car, guys. And I know it ain't the way you'd have done it, but it's the way I done it. I do it the way I done it because I like doing it that way. But man, it's gonna be the only 77 Plymouth Fury drag car out there, I believe. There's some hot street cars, a couple hot street cars, but all right, let me go inside and take me a little lunch break. Okay guys, I took the Lexan window out, and as you can see, it's hitting the top of the door. That's why the door was not closing good. So when I take this back out, see if I can get this out. I don't mean to do all that, scratching it up when I do that, but when I take it back out, the frame, look at that, hit that with my big foot. The frame has bent over too far, hitting the roll bar. So the door actually opens and closes good. So it may not need adjusting. So what I'm gonna have to do, I'm gonna take the torch and just see if I can't bend this out just a smidge. You know, he put this in, I told him it was gonna be tough to get it lined up just right without having the car. He did an outstanding job. Look at that. Just pulling on that, pull the door back. So yeah, we'll get a torch and we'll pull it back just enough. I think that'll fit nice. So and I got to adjust this weather strip, and it's not quite lining up right. The hole's off on this new door just a little bit. So we'll get that fixed and get the torch out, heat this up, and bend it. And I did get the mirror in. I just don't have the I got to get the door panels on. I'm gonna have to wait till I get the Lexan. So let's do that next. Let me get this molding fixed first, and then I'll get the torch and go to bending this out. Be right back, folks. All right, we're gonna try to heat it right here and bend this corner up. Probably 1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch. See what happens. And I'll be back with you in a little bit here, guys. Well, I heated it up pretty good. And in the process, I bent these tabs here. So I'm gonna have to, but it's about, I don't know if you can tell, it's a good, it's almost 7/16 of an inch away. I got to get the tabs back in alignment now. I managed to twist them somehow. Not sure how that happened, but we'll heat them up and bend them back around, whatever. It's too hot to stick the Lexan on it right now, so I'm gonna let it cool down. I may be done for the day. I'm thinking that may be enough because the rest of it is tucked in pretty far. And I don't want to get a situation where the window's not in the channel. It looks like it's in the channel deeper than it is on this end. So I gotta, before I go any further, let me test fit the glass so with Lexan on it. Okay guys, a little update on this door. I got the window frame and the Lexan mounted. I don't have it mounted at the bottom yet, but I gotta take it back off because, and you can see where I heated it with a torch right here, where it's real white. Trying to get this bent back up, it was bowed over a little too far, so I'm probably about as width of my thumb. Managed to move it that far. I'd like to move it a little bit more, but that's good enough. I mean, moving a little bit more is not going to really matter. 1/8 of an inch. It closes good. The problem I have now is I broke one of these tabs off when I was bending it. See these tabs right here? I broke that one off, so I've got to weld this tab back on. I'm not a welder. I can hack at it. I was hoping to get some, I meant to stop by the store and get some brazing rod, and I forgot to do that. So, and there's the tab laying right there on the floor of the car. So, I may take my welder and hack at it. Okay guys, I'm no welder, but I was able to get it welded on there. And of course I ground down the sloppiness. It's on there, it's good and solid. It's not going anywhere. So that's the main thing. I got good penetration, so I keep practicing. One of these days I'll get this welding down, but right now I'm focused on finishing this car. It's like I'm restoring this car, seems like. Anyway, what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna scuff up this whole, well, I don't know if I need to scuff it up and shoot it with some primer. But I'm gonna get this thing because the car is gonna get a color change to this purple. I need to put some paint on this because it's got a little rust. So let me do that. Let me get some paint on this thing and then we'll put the glass back in, the Lexan back in, I should say. Okay guys, it's all painted, looks nice. I noticed that there was on the other side also, when I took the Lexan off, there's little rubber gaskets between the little tabs and the bolts, and they were pretty much shot. No way of saving them. So I found this foam piece. I was kind of scrambling what could I use, and I happened to just find this foam piece. And what this is a firewall gasket for a power brake booster. So I'm gonna get me a little small socket and trace out 6 little round circles and probably paint this thing black. I guess it'll be okay to paint this black. It may absorb the paint. We're gonna give it a shot, and if that don't work, we'll come up with something else, but I think this will work. And then once we get that done, we can put this together. I hope to finish this up tonight. That would be great. It's going to probably need about another 20-30 minutes of drying, so I'll be working on this while it's drying, and then of course we gotta let this dry. So but it shouldn't be long. We'll have this thing back together and this will be done. So I'm in the shop here. I'm working on the door on FURYIOUS. And look at there. These 2 bunny rabbits, they come out every morning and every evening, and they don't seem to be, I mean, that's about as close as I get. If I walk out the shop, they'll take off running, but they know I'm in here. Sometimes I'm on that little work table right there. Yeah, there goes one, he's running, but he'll be back. How about that? Okay guys, the Lexan is installed. I think it looks pretty nice. I got the screws down here at the bottom, hold the bottom of it in place. Only thing left to do now is put this door panel on, which is back here somewhere. Probably need to do that right quick. And it closes nice. You have to kind of slam it, but the body lines don't match up with this fender at all. But it is on there. Looks good. Consider that done, other than the need to sand this down. It looks kind of stupid, little yellow lock, but that's the old lock off the old door, so my key would still work. So yeah, that came out good, guys. It really did. Get my door panel on. Probably hold off a day or two on that just to make sure everything's okay here. Frame's got a little curve right out here. Kind of wish it didn't have that. That would be nice at that, but I think that's the way it was. For whatever reason they did that, but no big deal. I like it. I really do. All right, folks, that's going to conclude. I'm probably going to merge the 2 videos together, the brakes and the door. So I guess the next thing, well, tomorrow I should get here and work on the engine. Maybe if we're lucky, we can get this engine wrapped up this weekend. We'll see how it goes. I'm kind of getting burnt out, guys, of work. And it's, you know, I get up in the morning, I kind of dread to come out here. But once I get out here, I seem to be pretty productive, which that's always the case. But I'm just burnt out. I need a week at the beach or something. But anyway, we are really getting close, guys. Thank you all for watching, and hit that thumbs up. That helps the channel. Doesn't cost you guys a dime, and helps the algorithms or whatever, so the video gets seen more and more people become aware of this very unusual drag car. You don't see this body style much, and the name is the Fury, and I call it FURYIOUS. So it's pretty cool, and it's got a factory big blocks. That's the factory engine I'm putting back in, and I'm not crazy about that, but At the moment, that's all I got, but I'll be easy on it. All right, folks, we're out this time for sure.